Hi folks, it's been just about a year since we got serious about this YouTube deal, and Deb and I have had a lot of fun with it, and I think a lot of folks have enjoyed it, and we just want to say thank you to everybody that's got a hold of us and sent us all the gifts and the emails, I guess they call them. And I really like hearing from people, because the way it works out is that you've got the Europeans, Australians, trail riding, pleasure riding people, and people in the ranching industry. And I really like that, because you're drawn from the best pool there is. People in Europe are really interested in Western riding simply because they don't have any access to it. And I think they get it, and they're real good students about it. In the ranching community, I love hearing from them, because I get to hear from people that in the cowboy world, you probably figured out, I guess it's like most worlds, that within minutes, if I talk to somebody from the ranching world, then we know the same people. That's just the way it is. It's a pretty small community. But the best part about it is there's two things that I've tried in the last year to get across. The two main things. And one is known as the feel. In other words, non-mechanical. You can do it through your breathing, through your skeleton, and the horse goes, got it. The other one is the concept of release, and that's the toughest one. And I can tell by the comments people send me is that the hardest part to transition to is the fact of teaching a horse the concept of release. In other words, a broken mouth snaffle causes pain and then release. My bit causes pressure, then release. Well, it's no different than the human. You want to be able to put your pressure on one side or the other of the animal, and then they look for the release because they know it's coming. There's always a good deal waiting for them. That's why the word release is so important. If you can teach a horse that concept and learn it yourself, then you have a horse that really wants to get along. So that's kind of been my mission this year. And I can tell by the folks that write, it's almost everybody that writes to me with problems, their horses are anywhere from 6 to 10, 12 years old. And what that means is that they've been ridden incorrectly long enough to where they've created some bad habits. And so hopefully with the concept of feel and release, then these can change, because they can. I've changed a lot of older horses. So moving right along, and once again, thanks a lot. Moving right along, I've been working Chinaco on picking me up. And I'm going through all the groundwork with Chinaco. Because there again, people have gotten a hold of us and said that they're enjoying that because they're using it on their horses. Well, I've still got more things to do in groundwork, but I wanted to get this going on better before I moved on. So I'm going to show you where I'm at with him. And I mentioned to you before when I was up above at the round corral that when you start to climb up on something, that's when the horse's brain kicks in and says, you know what, I need to be over there. Because when I'm over there, there's a release. I'm in neutral. I don't have to think. All I have to do is go over and stand next to him, and he releases the pressure. So this is no different than riding a horse. And that's why it's not just a parlor trick. There's a lot going on here for down the road when I start riding this horse. So I'll show you where I'm at. I'm just going to lead him away and then walk up here and ask him to join me. When this is done, they don't want to leave, see? This is no different than trailer loading. You can ask my friend in Kingman. Because of the release and no pressure on them, they like being right here. So what I try to do is just start him and then see how many intentional steps he'll make. that are correct. That's correct. Correct. He's stopping. Correct. Thinking. Exhale. Ask. This is the release. Drop the skull. Breathe. There's no duress. He's not dripping in sweat. And he's told me I got this. Now whether I choose to do it or not is up to my own little pea brain, but he does understand what I want. So you do this enough, when you start to climb on anything, I'll guarantee you they'll come over and get you. Pressure. 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 Now release. Now here's the cue. Bump. Bump. My leg is on him. He needs to adjust his body. So this is him thinking. Where do I need to be to get rid of this pressure? That's exactly where you need to be. Right leg getting on a horse. Right eye. Now I did want to mention a little Code of the West deal. If you live up in the country where there's actual moisture, not here, and there's a joke in the cowboy world because our humor is a little different, but if you got a bunch of horses tied up in the barn and you guys came in from making a circle and they're going to the cookhouse or something, the boss will walk down the string, and if there's mud across here, that's the guy you want to fire, because that means he drug his leg over the butt of the horse. He's too lazy to pick his leg up. So that's just something to put in your memory bank for getting off of a horse with muddy boots on. Leave. I've changed my mind. I'd like you to come back and get me. Position your body. I'm going to do as little as I possibly can. Switching hands. Asking. Asking. Thank you. So that, my friends, is the concept of feel and release. Adios.